There is a code behind everything you see, a hidden rhythm shaping your life. It is not luck. It is not chaos. It is a quantum pattern. And once you see it, you can use it. What you are about to learn will shift the axis of how you create your world. Right now you are surrounded by structure, not bricks or steel but invisible architecture. Beneath the chaos of daily life, there is precision, harmony, pattern, a deeper order humming silently beneath your reality. You cannot see it with your eyes, but you have felt it. In moments of déjà vu, in repeating life events, in sudden synchronous alignment. These are not accidents. They are reflections of something far more profound. In the quantum field, there are no hard edges, only probabilities dancing into form. Scientists call it wave function collapse. Mystics call it divine orchestration. But beneath both languages lies the same truth. Your reality is shaped by patterns, and those patterns respond to you. Have you ever felt like your life repeats itself in cycles, almost like it is following a script? Different places, different people, but somehow the same emotions, the same challenges, the same outcomes echo forward. That is not coincidence. That is geometry, energetic geometry. You are inside a pattern, one formed by your beliefs, your emotional signatures, and the energetic blueprint you unconsciously carry. This is where sacred geometry comes in. Not just a spiritual aesthetic but a reflection of the universe's actual code. From the spirals of galaxies to the nautilus shell, from the hexagonal structure of a snowflake to the double helix of your DNA, everything unfolds through recurring mathematical ratios and forms. This is the Fibonacci sequence, the golden ratio, the flower of life. They are not abstract designs. They are blueprints, and they exist because reality builds itself through frequency, through resonance, through repeating harmonics that scale infinitely, from atoms to planets to thought itself. But here is the secret most never realize. You are not separate from these patterns. You are made of them. Your brain waves follow fractal rhythms. Your heart beats in sacred intervals. Your thoughts generate waveforms, and those waveforms ripple through the field of possibility. Now imagine this. What if the patterns you have been repeating were not chosen by you, but inherited, imprinted by old emotional experiences, encoded by social programming? What if your inner geometry has been building a reality that does not match who you truly are? This is not about blame. It is about revelation, because the moment you see the pattern, you are no longer trapped inside it. You are at the edge of something extraordinary, the power to shift the structure of your reality, not through effort, but through alignment. Because in the quantum realm, alignment is not metaphor, it is physics. When your inner frequency matches the harmonic structure of your desired outcome, the universe does not resist, it reorganizes. And now you are beginning to remember this strange sense that something within you knows this already. That the geometry of your life is not fixed, but fluid. That your story is not random but written in light, intention, and awareness. So here is the question that matters most. If your life is already responding to a hidden pattern, what could happen if you became the conscious architect of that pattern? Because you were never just living in reality, you were shaping it, and the pattern has been waiting for you to wake up. But what if you have been unconsciously following a pattern, without even knowing you were inside it? You are manifesting right now. Not tomorrow, not someday, not when you master some technique or chant the perfect affirmation. Right now, in this moment, you are shaping reality. But here is the truth most people never realize. You are doing it blindly. You have already created thousands of outcomes, but were they by design or by default? Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you carry, each is a subtle signal broadcast into the quantum field. Not metaphorically, literally. You are not a passive observer of the world. You are an emitter, a transmitter, a projector of possibility. Reality is not something happening to you. It is something happening through you. You are not broken. You are not powerless, but you may be unconscious. Unconscious of the patterns you are reinforcing. Unaware of the energetic language you are speaking every second. And until you learn the language, the field continues to respond to the chaos, the fear, the loops you did not even know you were stuck in. Have you ever wondered why the same kinds of situations keep showing up in your life? Why some people attract synchronicity, ease, and abundance, while others feel trapped in repeating lack, struggle, or confusion? It is not because manifestation works for some and not for others. It is because most people are manifesting from a state of unawareness. They are broadcasting signals based on unresolved emotion, inherited beliefs, and fear-driven thinking. They say they want change, but vibrationally they are rehearsing the same old story every day. You manifest what you believe you are, not just what you wish you had. If your internal narrative is still rooted in doubt, scarcity, or unworthiness, no amount of positive thinking can override that. The field does not listen to words. It responds to vibration, to coherence, to identity. Let that land. Your subconscious identity is speaking louder to the universe than your conscious desires ever will. So how do you become aware of what you are actually manifesting? Look around you. Your current reality is a perfect mirror of your inner world, your expectations, your emotional baseline, your most practiced thoughts. This is not about blame. It is about power. Because if you created this, you can create something else. Right now, your energy is creating effects. Whether you recognize it or not, you are in a constant conversation with reality. Every moment, you are casting votes with your thoughts. Every reaction reinforces a future. Every inner assumption pulls a version of life closer to you. And the field is always listening. The quantum field is not judgmental. It does not reward good or punish bad. It responds to energetic instruction, to precision, to presence. That is why someone vibrating with chaotic fear will see more situations that validate their fear, not because they deserve it, but because they are in resonance with it. You might say, but I've tried visualizing, I've said affirmations, I've written intentions. Yes, but what identity did you hold while doing it? Were you being the person who already had it? Or were you trying to reach for something while still believing it was not yours? Manifestation is not a technique, it is an identity shift. When you begin to embody the version of you who already lives in alignment with your desired future, the field recalibrates, life bends, synchronicities accelerate. You feel like you are no longer chasing reality, you are magnetizing it. But embodiment cannot be faked. The field responds to authentic coherence. That means the work is not about controlling outcomes. It is about becoming the frequency that effortlessly aligns with those outcomes. So if you are frustrated that your manifestations are not working, it is not because the field is not responding. It is because it is, just not to the version of you you want to be. It is responding to the version you are currently being. And that is the invitation, not to manipulate, but to awaken. Not to force the universe, but to align with the invisible pattern already waiting for your conscious participation. Because here is the most powerful realization. Manifestation is not something you start doing. It is something you start noticing and mastering. You have already been shaping your life, whether you knew it or not. Now you get to choose how. If your current life is the result of unconscious creation, then imagine the power of learning the actual blueprint. At the deepest level of existence, reality is not solid, it is not fixed, it is not even predictable. It is a swirling sea of probabilities, potential outcomes waiting to be selected. And that selection? It is not random. It is made through a blueprint, a system far more intelligent and responsive than we've been taught to believe. Let us begin with the science. In quantum mechanics, everything exists as a wave of possibility until observed. This is known as the wave function. A particle does not exist in a single place. It exists in all possible places simultaneously. It is not until an observer focuses awareness that the wave collapses and the particle chooses a location. This is called wave function collapse. And it is not mystical theory. It is one of the foundational discoveries of modern physics. Now think about that. Until you observe, the world does not lock in. It remains fluid, moldable, probabilistic, which means your attention is not passive. It is creative. Your focus is not just noticing reality, it is shaping it. This is where the idea of a quantum blueprint begins to take form. The universe does not manifest randomly. It follows energetic instructions. It responds to intention, expectation, and coherence. The alignment of your inner world with the potential version of reality you wish to experience. Let us go deeper. Each time you think a thought, you generate an electrical signal in the brain. Each time you feel an emotion, you produce a magnetic field from the heart. Together, these form your electromagnetic signature, your vibrational fingerprint. And this field surrounds you. It communicates with the quantum field, the infinite ocean of potential. This is not metaphor. This is measurable. The HeartMath Institute, for example, has demonstrated that coherent emotional states, such as gratitude, love, and compassion, create a powerful resonance within the body. These elevated states amplify your signal, synchronize your systems, and increase your ability to affect outcomes. But here is where it becomes personal. You are not just sending out energy, you are also interpreting it. Your beliefs act as filters. Your expectations determine how open or closed you are to receiving new probabilities. The blueprint is not just what you send. It is how you decode what comes back. That is why two people can walk into the same situation and have completely different experiences. They are interacting with different layers of the field because their internal blueprint is selecting different outcomes. Now, let us connect this to spiritual law. You may have heard of the law of assumption, the idea that what you assume to be true hardens into fact. At first glance, it sounds mystical, but in the context of quantum physics, it makes perfect sense. Your assumptions shape your perception. Your perception focuses your attention. Your attention collapses probabilities. You quite literally tune in to a version of reality that reflects your inner certainty. This is why the phrase "you are not attracting what you want, you are collapsing reality into what you expect" is more than poetic. It is practical. Wanting is weak. Expectation is powerful. Why? Because expectation carries emotional certainty. It instructs the quantum field. This is what I believe is real, and reality responds accordingly. But most people do not expect the best. They expect repetition. They expect delay. They expect disappointment, because that is what their subconscious blueprint was built to expect. This is where transformation begins. The quantum blueprint is not something you discover. It is something you rewrite through conscious awareness, emotional mastery, and vibrational alignment. And it starts with presence, with observing the thoughts that run on autopilot, with feeling into the emotions that guide your daily state, with choosing, deliberately, to alter the internal architecture of your mind-body system so that it emits a signal coherent with the future you want to live. Let us ground this in practical truth. Every outcome you have experienced began as a potential in the field. That potential was influenced by your vibration, your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions. When you focused your attention, with or without awareness, that potential collapsed into form. The quantum field did not choose at random. It responded to you. And it still is, right now. So ask yourself this. What does your current life reflect about the blueprint you have been broadcasting? Does it echo your highest potential or your most practiced limitations? Are you collapsing timelines based on past identity or on the version of you that you know you are meant to become? This is not about control. It is about calibration. It is about remembering that you are not here to react to life, but to create from your essence. Because when your inner world becomes coherent, When your beliefs align with your emotions and your vision aligns with your frequency, the field has no choice but to respond in kind. This is the true art of manifestation, not demanding outcomes but becoming the version of you that effortlessly generates them. You are the architect. You are the observer. And the blueprint? It is already forming, right now, through what you believe is possible. But if thoughts collapse energy, what determines which version of reality becomes yours? Reality does not respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. You can say all the right things, script affirmations daily, visualize until your mind aches. But if your energetic signature tells a different story, the quantum field will listen to that instead. Because in the realm where energy becomes matter, what you emit, you command. Let us break this down. Your body is a broadcasting station. Every cell, every thought, every emotion generates a measurable frequency. Your brain produces electrical signals. Your heart, even more powerful, emits magnetic waves. Together, they form your electromagnetic field, and this field extends beyond your physical body. It radiates into space, into the quantum field, interacting with everything around you. This is not abstract. This is science. Neuroscience confirms that thoughts fire neurons and create electrical activity. But the heart, according to research from institutions like HeartMath, produces a magnetic field 5,000 times stronger than the brain. This field expands several feet outside of you, and it changes depending on your emotional state. Fear, shame, doubt. These contract your field. Gratitude, joy, love. These expand it. So your emotions are not just feelings, they are frequencies. And these frequencies are not neutral, they are instructions. Imagine you are a radio tower. Whatever station you are tuned to is what you are broadcasting, and what you broadcast determines what you receive. This is where entrainment comes in. In physics, entrainment is the phenomenon where one system begins to synchronize with another. When your personal frequency resonates with a particular possibility in the quantum field, that possibility begins to organize around you. You do not force it, you align with it. This is why people say, your vibe attracts your tribe or like attracts like. But those are not just catchy phrases. They are reflections of a very real energetic principle. The quantum field contains every version of reality. The successful you, the struggling you, the empowered you, the doubtful you. They all exist as potential timelines. And the one you experience is not chosen by chance. It is chosen by frequency. Right now, whether you realize it or not, you are tuning yourself to a particular version of life, not through wishful thinking, but through your baseline emotional state, the one you return to when no one's watching. So let me ask you, what is your default signal? Is it worry? Is it scarcity? Is it waiting? Or is it certainty? Is it gratitude? Is it presence? Because here is the truth. You do not manifest what you want. You manifest what you are, what you embody, what you broadcast. And here is the shift that changes everything. I do not chase reality. I transmit it. Repeat that. Feel it. I do not chase reality. I transmit it. There is nothing to hunt down. No outcome to force. The version of reality you desire already exists. Your job is not to create it from scratch. Your job is to become compatible with it. Let us ground this in an example. Two people walk into the same room. One feels insecure and guarded. The other feels calm and worthy. Same external environment. Different energetic signals. And so, different experiences, different conversations, different outcomes. Why? Because their frequency determines what they perceive, what they invite, and what the field reflects back. Now scale this up to your entire life. What kind of relationships are you drawing in? What kind of financial patterns are repeating? What level of joy or resistance shows up in your body when you wake up? These are all mirrors, feedback loops showing you the signal you are sending. But the most empowering part? Your frequency is not fixed. It can be tuned. It can be refined. It can be reprogrammed. Every time you pause and breathe deeply, every time you shift from fear into gratitude, every time you choose presence over distraction, you are altering the signal. You are changing the code. And the field listens. Not eventually, immediately. Reality begins bending the moment you begin emitting differently. This is why spiritual practices like meditation, breathwork, heart coherence, and stillness are so powerful. They are not woo-woo. They are frequency stabilizers. They recalibrate your system to resonate with higher timelines. So what happens when you stop reacting and start emitting? You step out of survival and into creation. You stop looking outside for proof, and you become the signal that generates proof. You stop asking how long will it take, and start asking who do I need to become, because that is the real question. Your frequency is not just about what you feel. It is about who you believe you are. And when that identity shifts, when you begin seeing yourself as powerful, as magnetic, as already aligned, you activate a resonance that transforms everything around you. So if you are broadcasting a frequency 24/7, is it in harmony with the pattern of what you desire? You are not failing to manifest because it does not work. You are failing to manifest what you want because you are unconsciously reinforcing what you do not. And the universe, it is not ignoring you. It is responding to your most practiced energetic pattern. Look closely at your life right now. The relationships that repeat, the emotional cycles that loop, the financial peaks and dips that seem to follow a script. These are not coincidences. They are patterns. And unless they are interrupted, they will continue. Not because you are unlucky, but because you are energetically consistent with them. What if the life you are living is just a reflection of emotional echoes from your past? Most people try to manifest new outcomes while holding on to old frequencies. They say they want love, but they are still vibrating with fear of abandonment. They say they want abundance, but they are still anchored in stories of scarcity. They want to change their reality, without changing the signal they are sending out. That is like trying to tune into a new radio station, while keeping the dial stuck on the old one. Let us make it simple. Manifestation does not fail. Misalignment does. When your conscious desire and your subconscious blueprint do not match, the blueprint wins. Every time. That is because your subconscious mind holds the deeper code, the habits, beliefs, assumptions, and memories you have rehearsed for years. These hidden patterns form the energetic scaffolding of your life. The brain loves patterns. It seeks predictability. It would rather loop a familiar discomfort than risk an unfamiliar joy, because safety, even in struggle, feels more certain than change. So here is what happens. You try to elevate. You visualize a new outcome. You speak affirmations. You even start to feel different for a moment. But then, an old belief whispers, "You do not deserve this." It always falls apart. This is too good to be true. And just like that, the signal shifts, the pattern reclaims control, and the manifestation dissolves. This does not mean you are broken. It means your nervous system is doing what it was trained to do, protect you, even from your own evolution. But you are not here to stay safe inside outdated stories. You are here to wake up, to recognize the code running beneath your thoughts. So let us bring it to the surface. Ask yourself, what emotional themes keep showing up in my life? What internal dialogue repeats when no one's listening? What results have I normalized, even though they do not reflect my highest self? Awareness is the first key to pattern recognition. You cannot change what you do not see. But once you see it, you gain choice. You gain leverage. You reclaim authorship over your timeline. And here is the empowering truth. The pattern is not personal. It is programmable. What was learned can be unlearned. What was imprinted can be reimagined. You are not trying to destroy the old. You are choosing to stop energizing it. Because every time you react from a wounded pattern, you reinforce it. But every time you pause, every time you breathe into awareness, every time you respond from presence, you break the loop. This is how the shift begins. Not through force, through recognition, through saying, I see the pattern. I honor what it tried to protect, but I choose a new frequency now. And yes, it takes repetition. Yes, it takes intention. But with each choice, your field recalibrates, your system rewires, your vibration reorients toward the pattern of what you truly desire. Because manifestation is not about forcing outcomes. It is about stabilizing new patterns long enough for reality to reflect them back. So the question is not, why has not it happened yet? The real question is, what am I still unconsciously practicing that keeps the old reality alive? When you answer that, honestly, you begin to shift from confusion to clarity, from resistance to resonance. You are not behind. You are not blocked. You are simply being invited to see the invisible structures shaping your life and choose again. Once you become aware of the corrupted pattern, you gain the power to rewrite it. Now that you see the pattern, you are no longer its prisoner. You have stepped into the seat of the observer, the creator, the one who chooses what stays and what goes. And that is where real manifestation begins. Not in forcing outcomes, but in rewriting the internal code that shapes them. You are not starting from scratch. You are starting from consciousness. Your subconscious mind, your nervous system, your energetic field, these are not working against you. They've simply been carrying outdated instructions. And now, you have the power to offer them something new. So what does it actually mean to rewrite the pattern? It begins with awareness. Yes. But awareness is only the opening. The real transformation happens when you consciously begin to broadcast a new frequency, stabilize it, and embody it as your new normal. This is not positive thinking. This is energetic recoding. This is neurospiritual realignment. And it starts with a pause. Right now. Pause now, breathe, and state, I am the pattern. I am the source. Let those words vibrate through you. You are not reacting to life. You are designing it from your own energetic architecture. To rewrite the code, you must engage 3 inner systems. Your imagination, your emotional body, your identity. Let us begin with imagination. Visualization is not child's play. It is the language of the subconscious mind. When you visualize, you are rehearsing a new frequency. You are constructing new neural pathways. But more than that, you are sending a signal into the quantum field that says, not someday, not hopefully, but now. That is the key. Your visualizations must be embodied. Do not just see the version of you who has the outcome. Be that version. Feel the breath of that version. Think the thoughts. Carry the posture. Speak the inner language of the one who knows it is already done. Next, the emotional body. Emotion is the amplifier. It is what turns visualization into vibration. And among all emotions, elevated ones, like gratitude, joy, appreciation, create the most coherent, magnetic signal. These emotions are not just feel-good. They are portals. They open your field. They soften resistance. They tell the quantum field, I already have it. That is why I am thankful now. Start practicing gratitude before anything changes. Feel joy without a reason. Because when you can generate the state without the condition, you collapse the timeline between desire and outcome. Finally, identity. This is where most people fail. They do the practices, but their inner dialogue still echoes the past. You cannot just think new thoughts. You must become a new version of you. One thought, one emotion, one breath at a time. That version already exists. You are not inventing them. You are remembering them. So ask yourself, if I already had what I desire, who would I be? How would I move? What would I no longer tolerate? What energy would I radiate? Effortlessly. Begin practicing being that version now. Not once a day. Not when it is convenient. Make it your baseline. Let your thoughts default to empowerment. Let your nervous system normalize peace. Let your energy train the quantum field, not the other way around. This is where affirmations return, not as desperate wishes, but as frequency stabilizers. Short, identity-based statements that anchor your vibration. Speak them not to convince yourself, but to confirm what is already shifting. Try these. I align with the highest version of me. I do not force reality. I transmit truth. I am the frequency of the life I choose. Repeat them, not mechanically, energetically, until they stop feeling like affirmations and start feeling like memory. And if resistance shows up, let it. Old patterns do not disappear quietly. They test your signal. But that is not failure. That is feedback. Each time you stay coherent in the face of resistance, you rewire your nervous system. You show the field, this new version is real. I am not shifting into it. I am it. Remember, you are not fighting the old. You are starving it. And you are feeding the frequency of who you have always been beneath the noise. This is alignment. It is not perfection. It is not high vibes only. It is authenticity, coherence, and choice. Every moment you choose alignment, even quietly, you strengthen the signal. And the field responds. Always. Not because you forced it, but because you finally matched it. But rewiring alone is not enough. You must also observe with precision to stabilize the shift. In the quantum world, reality waits. It does not fully exist until it is observed. And the one doing the observing, that is you. This is not philosophy, it is physics. At the smallest scale of existence, subatomic particles remain in a state of probability. They are everywhere and nowhere at once. They are potential. But the moment attention is focused, the moment there is an observer, that potential collapses into a single outcome. This is known as the observer effect, and it is one of the most profound discoveries in quantum mechanics. But here is the part that changes everything. You are not just observing reality, you are influencing it by how you observe. Not just what you look at, but how you look. Your focus has power. Your attention has weight. Your presence collapses potential into form. And yet most people scatter their attention like confetti, chasing results, reacting to triggers, multitasking their energy into confusion. Then they wonder why their manifestations are inconsistent. But you are starting to remember that the field is responsive, that the version of reality you see is the one your presence stabilizes. Reality conforms to your clarity, not your craving. That is why craving often blocks manifestation. Craving is lack. It says, I do not have it. It focuses on the gap, and the field mirrors back more absence, more waiting. Clarity, on the other hand, is power. It says, I know what I am. I know what I am choosing. It is not a wish. It is an observation made with emotional certainty. That is the calibration you are being invited into. Conscious calibration means learning to see with precision, to stop reacting and start responding, to use your attention as a sculpting tool, not a desperate searchlight. Let us pause and ground this. Imagine you are standing in front of a wall of possible realities. Every version of your future is encoded there. Abundance, love, freedom, growth. But they are blurry, unformed, floating in superposition. And then you direct your awareness. You steady your internal state. You observe one version with unwavering emotional alignment. That version begins to form. The field responds. But here is the catch. Your observation must be neutral. That means not chasing, not doubting, not judging, just seeing clearly, calmly, confidently. This is the skill. To become a neutral observer, stable, emotionally regulated, and anchored in identity. When you observe with neutrality, your signal becomes coherent. You are no longer broadcasting chaos. You are emanating clarity. And the quantum field prefers coherence. It organizes around order. This is why spiritual traditions have always taught presence, stillness, and detachment. Not because desire is wrong, but because grasping distorts your signal. Let go of the grasp, not the desire. Keep the vision, drop the desperation. Stand in certainty, even before results appear. Because when your frequency stabilizes, timelines align. Think of your consciousness like a tuning fork. Whatever version of reality you resonate with most clearly is the one that echoes back. But if you keep shifting your signal, one day trusting, the next day doubting, the field stays scattered. You must become consistent. That does not mean perfect. It means practiced. It means waking up each day and calibrating back into your chosen timeline. Ask yourself, am I observing my life through the lens of who I used to be, or who I have decided to become? Because the version of you who already has the outcome, they observe differently. They speak differently. They carry a different internal posture. And that posture is everything. It is not about affirming I believe. It is about being the one who no longer needs to prove or chase. That is the shift from seeker to observer. From trying to get reality to change, to allowing reality to conform to the vibration you have already stabilized. It is subtle, but it is everything. Conscious calibration is the daily practice of returning to your chosen identity, of noticing when you have slipped into old patterns of lack, and gently bringing your focus back to truth. It is breath work. It is meditation. It is silence before reaction. It is the pause between stimulus and response, where creation begins. And every time you choose that space, you claim your role as the observer. Not a passive one, but an awakened one. A sculptor of timelines. A tuner of reality. So now ask yourself, what are you observing with certainty? What are you choosing to stabilize today? Because the moment your clarity becomes unwavering, the universe begins to reorganize. So what happens when your focused clarity meets the emotional power of your heart? There is an intelligence within you far more powerful than your mind. It does not speak in logic. It speaks in resonance. It does not calculate. It feels, and its frequency shapes the fabric of your reality. It is your heart. Most people think of the heart as a symbol, something poetic or emotional, but the heart is not just an organ. It is a transmitter, a generator, a portal. Your heart emits the most powerful electromagnetic field in your body, far stronger than the brain. In fact, its magnetic field is up to 5,000 times more powerful. And this field does not stay inside of you. It extends several feet beyond you, interacting with your environment in ways we are only beginning to understand. When you feel elevated emotions, like gratitude, compassion, joy, love, your heart field becomes coherent. That means the rhythm of your heart, the signals from your brain, and the energy of your body align in harmony. And when you are in coherence, you are in command. Because a coherent heart field sends a clear signal into the quantum field, a signal that influences what shows up in your life. So manifestation is not just a mental process, it is an energetic one. You are not just thinking reality into existence, you are feeling it into coherence. This is the missing link. Many people try to manifest from the mind. They visualize, they script, they set intentions. But if the heart is not open, if the emotional signal does not match the vision, the frequency collapses. You cannot outthink your energetic truth. You cannot manifest joy from a place of inner numbness. You cannot call in love while your heart is still guarded. That is why this practice matters so deeply. When you learn to generate elevated emotion from within, not as a reaction to life, but as a choice, you activate a quantum current. You begin influencing reality from the inside out. When my heart expands, reality responds. Say that again. When my heart expands, reality responds. Because it does. It listens. It aligns. Let us make it practical. The next time you visualize your desired future, begin with your heart. Close your eyes. Slow your breath. Feel gratitude, not for what is coming, but for what already is. Let that gratitude grow until it fills your chest. Then, while your heart is wide open, see the reality you are calling in. Do not just see it, feel it. Feel what it would be like if it already existed. Anchor that emotion. Let it radiate outward. Let your heart speak to the field. Because the quantum field does not just respond to thought, it responds to coherence. And coherence is not created by effort. It is created by alignment. Now, what blocks the heart? Fear, shame, resentment. These emotions constrict the field. They fragment your signal. They confuse the quantum response. But here is the beauty. The heart can be trained. You can choose coherence. You can choose gratitude, even when it feels hard. You can choose forgiveness, not because someone else deserves it, but because you deserve to be free. Every time you choose love over fear, you strengthen your field. Every time you return to presence, you become magnetic. Every time you open, even slightly, you shift timelines. And this does not have to take years. One breath, one choice, one emotionally clear moment can change everything. Because the field does not work in time. It works in vibration. So the moment your heart becomes coherent, your reality starts reorganizing, even if you cannot see it yet. It may come as synchronicity, as clarity, as an unexpected opportunity, as an inner shift that suddenly makes the outer world feel lighter. Whatever form it takes, know this. Your heart is not weak. It is not secondary. It is the portal. You do not need to chase answers. You need to listen to the frequency within you. The mind will try to figure out how. The heart already knows. It is not thinking your way there. It is feeling your way home. So the next time you feel lost, overwhelmed, or disconnected, do not reach outward. Drop inward. Anchor in the field of your heart. And say again, when my heart expands, reality responds. The field is now responding. But how do you steer it through time? Time is not what you have been taught. You have been conditioned to think of it as linear, a straight path moving from past to future, one event after another. But in the quantum world, time is not a line, it is a field. And within that field, everything exists now. Every potential future. Every parallel version of you. Every timeline, activated or dormant, is encoded in this present moment. You are not moving through time. Time is moving through you. And once you understand that, manifestation takes on a whole new meaning, because you are not waiting for the future to arrive. You are selecting it. Right now. Through your state of being. Through your emotional baseline. Through your frequency. Let us start with something you have likely experienced. Déjà vu. That sudden feeling you have lived a moment before, even though you know you have not. It is not just a glitch. It is feedback. It is a signal from a parallel timeline, a moment of overlap where your consciousness brushes up against another version of you, one that has already experienced what you are now stepping into. And synchronicity, that uncanny alignment of events, numbers, people, messages, that is not coincidence. That is confirmation. It is how the universe echoes back. You are in flow. You are in resonance with a specific timeline. These phenomena are not mystical illusions. They are clues. Clues that time is not fixed. That timelines are fluid. That manifestation is not about dragging a future into being. It is about aligning with the version of now where that future already exists. This is retrocausality. The idea that your present state influences both the future and the past. In quantum experiments, researchers have found that the decision to observe a particle can retroactively determine its prior state. Read that again. The present observation influences the past behavior. So what does that mean for you? It means the elevated emotional state you enter today can ripple backwards, healing past trauma, collapsing old stories, and clearing the energetic residue of timelines that no longer serve you. Your healing is not limited to the present. It is happening across dimensions of time. And the same goes for the future. Right now there are infinite versions of your life branching out like threads. The wealthy you, the joyful you, the healed you, the stagnant you, the overwhelmed you. Which one becomes your reality? The one you feel into most consistently. Your state of being is the steering wheel, and your feedback loop is always running. What does that mean? It means the field is constantly showing you evidence of your dominant frequency. If you live in fear, it will show you reasons to fear. If you live in gratitude, it will reflect things to be grateful for. If you live in trust, doors will open. The outer world is not lagging behind you. It is keeping pace with your internal calibration. So here is the pattern most people fall into. They start a manifestation practice. They feel high for a moment. But when results do not come instantly, they doubt. That doubt lowers their frequency, and the field reflects it. And when they see proof of failure, they lower it even more, and the loop deepens. But what if you interrupted that loop? What if, when nothing seemed to change, you stayed steady? What if you held the frequency anyway? What if you trusted that time is just catching up with your alignment? Because it is. Everything you have emitted, every coherent emotion, every clear intention, it is already moving, already weaving through timelines, already preparing to converge into form. But you must hold your position. Not with tension, with faith. That is the true test. Not to force, but to remain in the state as if. Because timelines are not waiting for you. They are responding to you. And the moment you stabilize the signal, the future starts echoing back. You might feel it as inner peace. You might notice subtle shifts in your environment. You might suddenly meet someone, receive an idea, feel a pull. That is the feedback loop initiating. It is how manifestation talks to you. But you have to listen. Not just with your ears, with your state. Ask yourself, what feedback has life been giving me lately? What timeline am I most emotionally aligned with? Is it the one I want, or the one I am habitually feeding? Because every moment you slip into self-doubt, fear, or frustration, you reinforce a past-based timeline. But every moment you return to trust, joy, and presence, you energize the timeline where your desired future already exists. And here is the most empowering truth. Your future self is already living that life. Already aligned. Already clear. Already sending you signals back through the loop. What if your future self is already guiding you now? Listen for the pull. Feel the whisper. Trust the alignment. Because time is not a wall you are walking toward. It is a mirror reflecting back who you are choosing to be now. To engage this loop fully, you need an activation sequence. A conscious quantum ritual. It is not enough to know the pattern. You must activate it. Awareness is the doorway. Alignment is the path. But activation, that is the moment you become the pattern in motion. Not someone trying to change reality, but someone embodying the reality that already exists in higher probability. This is the bridge between theory and transformation, between understanding the field and commanding it. And it does not require more effort. It requires more precision. You do not manifest by force. You manifest by becoming the frequency that cannot help but attract what matches it. That is the activation sequence. A 5-step energetic ritual that moves manifestation from concept to embodiment, from desire to done. Let us begin. Step 1. Awareness. Everything begins with conscious awareness. You must know the signal you are sending before you can alter it. So pause. Tune in. Observe your thoughts, your emotions, your breath. What frequency are you radiating? right now. Are you in alignment with the version of you who already has what you desire? Or are you still subtly vibrating with lack, fear, or unworthiness? This is not judgment. It is calibration. Awareness creates space, and space gives you choice. Step 2. Emotional resonance. Next, generate the emotion of the outcome before it shows up. This is where most people falter. They wait for the thing to arrive so they can feel different. But manifestation flips that. You feel different first, and then the thing arrives. So breathe deeply. Drop into your heart. Recall a time when you felt gratitude, freedom, love, abundance. Feel it in your chest, your throat, your belly. Let that emotion grow. Then bring your desire to mind and feel as though it is already yours. Do not just think about it. Become the person who already has it. Let your nervous system memorize that feeling. Because the universe does not speak language, it speaks frequency, and frequency is felt. Step 3. Visualization. Now, create a mental image. Not a vague fantasy. A vivid, emotionally charged scene. Where are you? What do you see? How does it feel to wake up in that reality? But here is the key. You are not visualizing the future. You are visualizing now. The more you anchor it in the present moment, the stronger the signal. Add sensory detail. What does the air smell like? What sounds surround you? What are you wearing? Who is with you? Make it so real that your body begins to believe it is happening now. Because to the subconscious mind, there is no difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. And when your body believes, the field responds. Step 4. Observer calibration. This is the shift from seeker to seer. Detach from the outcome. Let go of needing it to arrive on your timeline. You have already created it in the field. Now you are observing it come into form. Stand as the observer. Stable, calm, clear. Notice any thoughts of doubt, impatience, or resistance, and watch them pass without grabbing them. You are not here to make the manifestation happen. You are here to hold the frequency of the version of you for whom it is already normal. Think of yourself like a satellite dish, locked into a specific frequency band. If you wobble, you lose signal. But when you stay steady, the transmission completes. Step 5. Detachment and embodiment. Finally, release the attachment to how and when. Detachment is not apathy, it is certainty. You are not giving up. You are trusting the field to organize in your favor. And in the space of that trust, you embody. You walk through your day as the version of you who already lives the outcome. You speak from that identity. You make choices from that energy. You carry yourself with the resonance of it is done. This is not pretending. This is quantum alignment. The universe does not respond to wishful thinking. It responds to stable embodiment. And embodiment does not mean perfection. It means consistency. Each time you return to this sequence, you strengthen the signal. You collapse the gap between someday and now. So let us do it. Right now. Take 60 seconds now to envision your desired reality and feel it as done. Breathe, anchor, feel, and release. Because the moment you emit a clear signal, the moment you stabilize in that identity, reality must mirror it back. Not because you forced it, but because you became it. You have initiated the sequence. You have tuned the code. You have remembered your role as both transmitter and receiver. You have initiated the sequence. But what if I told you, you are the sequence? You have searched for signs. You have studied the laws. You have looked for the method, the missing key, the secret behind it all. But the entire time, it was pointing back to one truth. You are the pattern. You are not just participating in reality, you are generating it. You are not outside the field, you are the field, condensed into form, focused into identity. Everything you have heard in this journey, the blueprint, The frequency, the timeline, the coherence. They are not separate tools. They are expressions of who you are beneath the noise. The quantum field is not somewhere out there. It lives in your breath, in your heartbeat, in your intention, in your stillness. It is activated by your identity, shaped by what you believe you are worthy of, capable of, destined for. So let us make it simple. You are not chasing reality. You are emitting it. You are not trying to create a future. You are collapsing the future into now, through every moment of conscious alignment. And right now you are standing in the exact frequency you have rehearsed the most. That is not punishment. That is precision. The field is not responding to what you wish was true. It is responding to what you have emotionally accepted as already true. So if your life feels out of alignment, it is not a sign that you are broken. It is a sign that you have outgrown the old identity, and your current signal is no longer sustainable. That is not failure. That is awakening. Because from this point forward, you no longer get to say, I do not know how. You do know. You have remembered. You have reconnected. You know how it begins. With awareness. With emotion. With clarity. With becoming. This is not about thinking harder or working more. This is about choosing differently, from the inside out. So before we close, let us anchor your truth. Breathe in and speak, either out loud or within. I am not chasing success. I am emitting success. Again, I am not chasing success. I am emitting success. Because success is not something to reach. It is something to remember. Now again, the field mirrors me. Say it. Feel it. Own it. And once more, I am the quantum pattern. Not part of it. I am it. These are not just affirmations. They are confirmations. Declarations of energetic sovereignty. You are no longer asking the universe to change. You are no longer waiting for signs. You are no longer hoping for proof. You are the sign. You are the proof. You are the portal. And every step forward from this moment is a continuation of the pattern you now recognize as your own design. So what happens next? That is not up to fate. It is not up to timing. It is up to your frequency, and your frequency follows your focus. Choose where you place it. Nurture it. Refine it. Stabilize it, until the version of you you once dreamed of becomes the version you wake up as. And yes, the world around you will shift. But not because you demanded it. Because you became congruent with it. You are not becoming a creator. You are one, returning to your natural state. This is your moment of convergence. Everything is already responding to you. The question is, who will you choose to become now? Let that question echo. Because your answer will ripple through the field, collapsing timelines, unlocking possibilities, and birthing outcomes that match who you have decided you are. This is your pattern. And now you live it, not with effort, but with embodiment. And as you continue forward, aligning, expanding, observing, transmitting, remember that this journey was never about adding more. It was about remembering the truth that was always within you. If this message awakens something inside you, subscribe and share it with someone who is ready to align. Your ripple changes more than you know. You were never just observing the pattern. You are the pattern.